Let's talk about new states. Not like new United States. I'm talking about new states in decolonization in this Cold War era that we're talking about. So in the 20th century. Welcome to Frickin' History. And if you want a 3, a 4, or a 5 on your AP World, A Push, or AP Euro exam, I'm the guy to see. So during this time period, especially in this post-World War II time period, this is when a lot of states came into fruition because the colonists, such as the French, the British, the American, they were not able to hold on to those old colonies. And the British seemed to really screw up a lot of this stuff, so let's talk about a couple examples there. Great Britain had a hold of India as a colony for really since the Sepoy Rebellion. That was in the mid-1850s. That's the 1857 rebellion. And so because of that, and that rebellion there, they made it a part of the British Empire, and it became the jewel because of all the natural resources they were able to pull out of there. India continued to be this jewel, and there was independence that was wanted by the people there, and this is where the movements from Gandhi, etc., moved up and through the 1930s. But by the time World War II got there and had completed, Great Britain was just out of strength, out of money, and basically out of time to hold that colony. So they decided to make India into two separate nations that they would set the borders for. Now, there were two different sides that wanted the states to be a Hindu and a Muslim state, and so you had different ideologies that were pulling at each side. And that's exactly what happened. They created an East and a West Pakistan, and then also they made India the rest of that territory with the exception of Kashmir in the northern part. Now, Pakistan was going to be an all-Muslim state, and India would be a Hindu state. What ensued was mass chaos in the migration of Muslims into Pakistan, and also the Hindus that would move out of what was Pakistan into India. There were deaths. Women were taken advantage of in a really bad way. Violence, riots, and the British just walked away. Another example is what the British did in Israel, which was very, very interesting. And the standpoint is they used the same mechanism, which was divide and rule. Palestine they had a hold of for a very long time prior to would have been in the late 1800s moving forward. And the biggest thing is it was promised to be kept by the British when the French and they were working out details of the Middle East. They promised to the Meccans, and they promised a Jewish state. They literally promised it to 3 people. No wonder it ended up to be a mess. But after World War II, they found that holding on to Palestine was a very difficult, and the reason why it was difficult because when they set up their divide and conquer type of scenario, it was they were dividing the Muslims, Palestinians, right? And they were pinning them against each other. In the end, what had happened is they took it to the United Nations to figure out. The UN makes their massive amount of changes that creates 2 states, and yet it is deteriorated over time. So to understand this fight that's going on right now, and you want to relate it to today, it's not about the difference of religions, because Palestinians are, they are Muslim, they are Jewish, they are Christian, they are a mix of those. And then when you think about it, it's all about the land. Who has access, who has gained, and who has control of what land. But the British were really in the middle of that, and it was using their divide and conquer. And so that's what really ended up and created a lot of instability. Because even today, just as Israel and Palestine are having their own issues, so are India and Pakistan. And now you know your freaking history.